Match. Bayern visiting Gladbach, who are in 7th place. Derek, still without Marcus Thuram after that ugly spitting incident. Anything for Bayern to worry about here?
Plenty for Bayern to contemplate in this game. In fact, if you look at recent history, quite favourable for Gladbach. In the last 12 meetings, 5 wins apiece, a couple of draws. Gladbach won the corresponding fixture last season. Now, they've not been at their best in the Bundesliga. They've reserved their best form for the Champions League. But that's not to say that they can't damage Bayern. Jonas Hofmann is back. He's been a key player when he has been fit for Gladbach, and he can set up chances. Bayern have been vulnerable to those little chip balls through the middle of the defence. We saw that in the Mainz game last week, the goal from Jonathan Burkardt. And Bayern, remember, have now gone 8 successive games conceding the first goal. They have a habit of turning those setbacks into points, into victories mostly. But this is a fixture with great tradition going back to the 1970s, probably the foremost fixture in German football in the 70s, and it won't be a picnic for Bayern in Gladbach.
Archie, let's stick with the stat that Derek mentions there. 8 straight Bundesliga matches where Bayern Munich concedes first. I wonder what you think and your colleagues in the German press. Is it just a quirky stat, or is it something that'll trip Bayern up, if not this weekend, against Friday against Gladbach, maybe later down the road against better competition in the Champions League?
Well, there's a bigger stat to that one there, and that is that Bayern are 20 games unbeaten in all competitions, and what's more, they've only lost one of their last 53 in all competitions. So they may concede first, but the issue for everyone else that they're facing is, can they score enough against them? Now, I think that Derek's right. There are certainly things about Gladbach that will challenge Bayern. And at the back, Bayern have looked very wobbly. The big talking point over here in Kicker magazine today was about the amount of right-backs that Bayern have used this season. 5, namely, and Joshua Kimmich having to go and re-fulfill that role at half-time against Mainz. And Joshua Kimmich was a big reason as to why they won that game in the end, because Benjamin Pavard, Hansi Flick was talking about the way he came back from injury, maybe rushing him back a little too quickly. He's not been in good form. He says he trusts him to find his form again, but Bayern do have their weaknesses. But I would say that Gladbach have their weaknesses as well. At home, they've not taken as many points as they should have. The amount of times that they've gone 1-0 up and thrown it away, I think Bayern will be looking at that record and thinking, well, we have nothing to fear if we go 1-0 behind. I think that it can build a certain character in a side, but also the way that Gladbach have struggled without Rami Bensebaini, if I can pronounce his name correctly. He has been out with COVID for a long period, a similar period that Jonas Hofmann was out for as well. And I think that his presence at left back has been a big blow for Gladbach. And he played 5 minutes against Arminia Bielefeld last week. If he was to start and be able to play and be on his game, I think that would be a big boost for Gladbach, because Oscar Wendt, who's been a great servant to the club, I don't think he's quite the same presence at left back as he used to be. And the biggest, I would say, Achilles heel of Gladbach right now are these floated balls into the area. We saw it against Real Madrid, but also against countless other opponents this season. That is what Gladbach have to watch out for, and it's something that Bayern are very good at.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.